Good evening. I think I have everything situated now. Okay. Good evening, Amanda. Hope you're having a okay day. Hope you get all your work done. I'm going to continue with some missions working towards rank 5, I believe. And I'm going to start... Let's see. Yeah, we'll just be heading towards rank 5. I need to do some quests to get my level cap up before I get there. But there's a couple missions before that, so let me check my crystals. I had to turn in some crystals, and then I can start on the next quest. Let's go ahead and trade those in now. Oops. Okay, that should fill up my rank points. Yeah. Okay. By the way, how's Conquest doing this week? Stock's in first place. We're still in last, so I can't get any new items, but that's fine. Okay. We're gonna talk to him and start our next quest. Oh, goody woody a him. Nice to see you drop by. So, what mission will you take upon yourself today? And we're gonna start with a testing time. Yeah, let's start with a testing time. How about helping out at the Austeria School of Magic for a change, Meiji? Sounds like it'll take some time, so it's not for the impatient. Austeria School of Magic is on the eastern side of Winter's Waters. Take the opposite road to the residential area's Mog House and head up far north. Oh, and a word of friendly advice. The teachers there will probably test your patience more than the actual mission, but don't give up. So we're going back to the school. This time we're probably going to be going to Mora. Outside of that zone. I forget the name offhand, but Uburumu Peninsula. And we'll probably have to do fighting there if it's anything like the last mission. So we are going to Mog House and we'll go north from there. Just a reminder of last time we went and checked on the other two city-states to see how their things were going with the Beastmen. In Sandoria, we were sent to Gelshva Outpost to attack one of their the Orcish generals and bring back proof of our feat. And then in Bastok, we had to go to the Palborough Mines and find out what plans the Beastmen were conniving. And it turns out that there was a floating eyeball, an Ahriman, that was leading the Beastmen in the Shadow Lord's stead, and he announced that the Shadow Lord would be reviving soon. So, after that, we returned home and told everybody important, and they will probably get right on that. By they, I mean probably adventurers, but we'll get there. So, let's talk to Moreno Toano and see what mission he has for us today. You actually accepted the archery skill exam assignment again? Best of luck this time too, then. You remember the errand, I recall, but let me rapidly reiterate to be real sure. We're setting up a skills test for our school students to see how many monsters they can slay. You're expecting an elementary exam, except At the School of Magic, it is an enormous event that affects all the educatees' enlightened existence, and so we extol excruciating exactness. First, fine friend, find out how ferociously fierce the foes in the field where the skills test is being formulated. This time, try to maim as many monsters as you may in the insular Buburimu Peninsula today. The charming charm cast on the magic doll disappears in 2 days, so come back quick before the wizardly works wear off once more. I'll immediately magic my miniature marionette. I presume you are punctually prepared. Roger, roger. Incantation Incorporated. Godspeed and Goddess bless. So, I think it said 2 days because we started the conversation just before midnight, so hopefully it doesn't actually expect us to fight for 2 whole days. That would be ridiculous. But in the meantime, we're gonna go to Buburimu Peninsula and beat up some... I'm gonna look for Goblin Leechers. I haven't found Paralyze yet, and I don't want to pay for it, so we're gonna go and look for Spell Scrolls. Mainly Paralyze. We may also fight some buggers to see if we can't find some other useful spells. But the enemies there shouldn't pose too much of a challenge. We've leveled up since last time. We are now level 50 Red Mage. So we are at the level cap until we finish the quest. So we may... I don't want to do that. We'll just go ahead and do this quest and take the time to hunt for some magic scrolls, because why not? We are going to Aragonu? No. Coal shoot? Yeah. And we're going to Mora. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. It's a little bit of a slow down there. So in the context, there's an activity you can do in Mora. That's sort of like the last section of the game when you're getting up to do the highest difficulty content, or starting to do it, and you do it through that town. So it's some of the hardest content in the game, but it leads to the highest level content in the game. So I don't really need my trust, so to speak, but we're gonna get them out all the same just to keep things moving along. I'm actually gonna get rid of Uran because I don't need a healer for this. Wow, internet's laggy tonight. No dropped frames, so it's just my connection to Square Enix. Alright, so we're gonna drop Uran, and we're gonna pick up another DPS. And then we're gonna go bully some... Oops, I moved. It's fine. We're gonna go bully some muggers and... This is Buburimu Peninsula, right? And we have Thrifty Transit. Okay. So basically muggers, tinkers, and... Not muggers. Tinkers, gamblers. leechers all cast magic and may potentially drop spells. So we're going to focus mainly on those goblins to see if we can't pick up some spells for cheap instead of having to pay for them. And in the meantime, we'll open some of these chests and play the chest game. So... even 7, 8, or 9. So it's 27, 28, or 29. That was easy. Don't need those, okay. We'll go ahead and open those just so we can find if there are any, like if there's a zone item, because every zone has an item. So we'll try and find those zone items if we can. 74 to 97. So it's probably late 70s, early 90s. So let's go with 91. There we go. The lumber is actually quite expensive. We'll try and pick that up and see what it gets us. And then see if there's any special names on here. Mugger. Leechers up there. Nothing in particular. Looks like we'll get a ton of these boxes tonight though. So might as well take a look. Second digit is 3, 4, 5. First digit is even. One of the digits, 2 digits is 5, so it's something 5. So let's go with 45. So it's 60, 85. Let's go 65. Yeah, it's 85. Okay. We're gonna go look for more. You know, I do like bull dommels because they drop the dommel hides. And eventually I want to do some crafting, so I'm gonna collect some of that stuff. It may be useful eventually. I didn't get the treasure chest. Don't need blue ones tonight, so we'll leave that alone. I don't remember where it is, it's fine. I'm looking for leechers. This guy's in the middle of everybody. Yeah, it'll one-shot everybody. Nice. So 3, 4, 5, 30, 40, or 50. 30 or 50. That doesn't help at all. I have no guess on the second digit, so let's do 39. Alright, let's do 37. Nice. Oh, that's the rare one. 15 MP drain. Yes. That is the rare drop for this zone. So we'll take it. First digit is odd, second digit is even. That's incredibly helpful. 10, 20, or 30, so it's 10 or 30. Let's enter 32. So 4, 6, 8. Let's do 36. 38. So yeah, we already have bar poison. We don't need that spell. Second digit is even. Combination is 69 to 85, so it's in the 70s. So greater than 76. Second digit is even between those two numbers. Greater than 76. Less than 82. 76, 78, 80, 82. So 78. There we go. I already have one of those, but I can sell it. Alright. I don't remember what you need Goblin Armor for, but... good day today. Odd. Greater than 90. So... also odd. 90, 1, 3, 5. Let's do 95, 97 or 99. It's probably 99. Ugh. Let's see here. Yeah. There we go. So it's just gonna be a nice slow grind tonight. Not much going on. I don't know what to talk about tonight. It's... oops, I got someone else's attention. It's been an interesting few days, I guess. But it's just everyday life, everyday grind, waiting for the next thing to start. First digit is odd, 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, enter combination 52, 71. There we go. I'm not really going to collect those. I don't need them for now. But these novels drop a lot. I forgot to turn in that cipher. Oh well. Second digit is even. First digit is odd, even, odd. Well, odd, even, technically. Second digit is even, first digit is odd, greater than 72. So, how many? I have 2, 92. There we go. And the way I'm guessing that in those instances is when it gives you a range, it's very likely that the number you're supposed to be going for is in the median of that range. Or the mean of the range. And that the actual number that you want is somewhere in a distribution around it. So it's not too difficult to guess what it's going to be in that case. Let's put... what all do I have in here? Vouchers and such. So like actual important items go in here. Like copper vouchers. Mother missive. Kindred seals. Bomb coal. I don't know what that's for, but I'll put it in there anyways. And then the rest of this is just things. Boulder cases is really important. Then sack, I can put things that I want to move towards crafting in. So lumber, insect wings, dommel hides, beetle shells, bat fangs, femurs. Yeah, I'll put that in there too. Hey, Weird, how are you doing tonight? I didn't mean to put the chalk in there. Okay. It's weird when the menu lags a little bit. I'm doing Mission 3-1 in Windurst, which is kill things in Boobity Moo Peninsula for 1 hour, and come back to the guy when you're done. It seems like it's normally suggested to skip these missions, but I don't really have much anything better to do because I didn't finish the level on cap. And in this case, I believe it rewards you with the item to open the 3-mage gate, which will be very helpful. So it's 30s and 40s. So let's try 38. How many guesses? So it's 37 or 36. Okay, I have 2. There we go. What do we get? Don't want them. I'll not open any more chests. That's kind of... I already got the special item. It's fine. I do kind of want to go to Volcrum Dunes and get the special item from there. That's the Phlegethon's trousers, which have all the defense of normal lizard trousers, but on Fire's Day they give you +5 strength. They're only level 5, but they're 15, but you know, for the 2 seconds that you're leveling, it's nice. Thinking maybe I could talk about an economics topic tonight, just because I don't do that very often. Ooh, there's a special name down here. Wakewater wand, it's probably fine. Just casual fire 2. Nah, I didn't drop anything. That's fine. Is there anything else down here? No, not really. Let's go to the other beach. So, yeah, I should talk about economics, because I have a degree in economics. I can talk about that. Economics is really boring, though. My master's degree is in economics, and it's what I'm about to do job searching in, but it's not... Economics is best discussed with pictures and information, because it's about relationships, and if you're talking about especially two-way relationships, it's way easier to talk about if you just have a picture. Because you show a graph, you show a line going up and to the right, you can say that it's as one increases, the other increases, and that's the relationship between these two things. But economics falls into a problem where you're taking on information that's in reality is quite complicated, not in understanding, but just all of economics really depends upon how people behave. People's behavior is infinitely complex. Like, there's no... You can't talk about economics and say anything for sure, because people change over time. And people also change depending on what they know. So, like, if you gave a survey and you asked a question that informed the subject of the survey, the very act of taking that survey is going to change how that person views the subject of the survey. So, recently there's been a lot of talk about polling in the US as far as, well, everything. They poll for everything nowadays. And the reality is that, yeah, the unknown variables. In machine learning, there's a way to create relationships along unknown paths that can't be interpreted, but can lead to incredibly efficient identification of groupings. What is that called? And that's called a neural net, or a neural mapping, or is it, what is it? It sounds like neural mapping. It's neural something. I forget the exact name. But if you have enough data, you can feed it into a machine learning algorithm, and as it's sorting, it'll start creating these combinations of things that create nodes, and every combination can more exactly identify a grouping of behaviors or a pattern of outcomes. But the two limiting factors in that kind of research is that depending on how you train the data, depending on the variables you use for the data training, you'll get different outcomes. So when you see people letting a computer learn how to play Super Mario World, if you let it run for 50 trillion iterations through the game, it'll come up with the best method to do whatever it is that you are training it to do. But it won't necessarily come up with the best method to say, beat the game as fast as possible. Because if you didn't select the response variables that it uses to gauge its output correctly, then it's going to result in the wrong information being focused on. So, generally speaking, machine learning is incredibly powerful as long as how you judge a success or how you test your model accurately reflects the real world, and as long as the real world doesn't significantly change after the testing. And so the latest thing is, can you create neural networks? That's what it's called. Neural networks. Can you create a model that's actively updating as new information comes and responding naturally to the changing circumstances? And that's where a lot of computing power is being sent for trying to predict behavior. Now he has shadows up. Which is a really interesting topic, and one that I am not qualified to really speak on outside of generalizing it for layman's terms. When I did my master's in economics, I also went and did a lot of statistical analysis courses. So everything to do with machine learning and data analytics for large data sets. And so I've had a cursory examination of how a lot of it works, and I could run some of the models myself, but some of the important things that I learned from it were that the data is only as good as the interpretation that you give it. And when you talk about things like polling, the results of the poll may depend upon how you ask the question, as an example. And then the other example is you can use poll to increase the bias of other people. So you can release a poll, and you can cherry pick the information from the poll, or you can cherry pick how the information is released. There's several ways that you can go about it, but in the United States especially right now, there's a lot of polling that will say that America thinks Joe Biden is too old to run for president again. And the information is spread in such a way that they want people to feel comfortable thinking a certain way about something. And that's how they're using data that's how they're using statistics to manipulate opinion, is they want people that have a vested interest in whatever it is they're polling about will generally speaking, if they're not unbiased in their approach and their methods and everything, they can get a request for a poll, and they'll run the polling, and then they'll send it out to whoever paid for the request. In this example, there was a phone call in the state of Wisconsin that was in regards to trying to remove a judge from their Supreme Court. And the phone call said that they were going to contact a polling company, and they wanted to run a poll to find opinions about how people would feel about removing this justice. and the copy of the information explicitly stated that if it's helpful, we'll release the poll. Which would indicate that there was some... If it wasn't helpful, they were just going to ignore it. So, when it comes to information, it's... Yeah. I love statistics, but I hate what you can do with it. Because it's not completely honest in and of itself. So, that's my rant for tonight, I guess. But yeah, the more information you have, the better decisions you can make. So if someone wants you to make a certain decision, the best thing that they can do is to limit the information that you receive in order to direct you towards a certain conclusion. So one of the things I do to combat that kind of confirmation bias is if you hear something you're like, oh, that's interesting, like, just go look up the Wikipedia. Another example is not related to politics. Politics is... I don't like talking about it too much because it's just a divisive issue, but it's where most of these tactics are used. Dangle the carrot. What? What? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I was looking for an actual carrot. Oh my. It's like, where's the carrot? I don't see a carrot. So if I come across information, I'm just like, that sounds interesting. That makes me think about things. I'm gonna go look up more information and just go to Wikipedia. So the non-political example I had was today there was an ad on YouTube, and apparently I exist in a demographic that needs information about sleep apnea. So there was an ad like, this doctor found a revolutionary way to do it. Like, it was your pretty standard AI read hackery, like they were trying to sell you as if they were trying to sell you vitamin supplements, like that kind of advertisement. And at first I was like, man, why do I get such BS advertisements? Just because I'm mid-30s male living in Japan doesn't mean I'm overweight and have sleep apnea. Come on. So, but I did, like, I was just like, I wonder what they're going to say, and they kept mentioning a specific name, so I'm like, is this even a real person? So I looked up on Wikipedia, like, he actually is a real person, and his company actually exists, and it's not complete crap, but, like, it is. It's basically, they tried to make it sound like he came up with a revolutionary idea and nobody's ever thought about doing this before and all that stuff, and really it's just, he's selling a new retainer to hold your jaw in place while you sleep. But it's actually something that's been done before. And that kind of thing is just... I'm more upset that I'm generalized as that age group that would need it. But that's not like upset like angry, that's upset as in, man, I feel old. But, you know, the thing I always found fascinating about statistics and polling, all that stuff, is that people do change as they gain more information and they make decisions based on that information. So, like, whenever I see a study and the study is so informative, or when it is informative, it's almost a worthless study. It's kind of like Reddit, when people figured out how the algorithms worked for sorting their posts. The first thing people did is they abused the hell out of it. And this first happened about 7 to 8 years ago. And again, it's related to politics because that generally seems to be the one where people try to abuse systems the most in general. But people were, for a couple of candidates, abusing how Reddit sorted information and using bots to force certain information to the front page of Reddit to make it look like it's much more mainstream than it actually was. And they did it for a couple of groups. And it was really, really annoying. One of those communities is now banned from Reddit, but the other one kind of fell off into obscurity. But once people understand the rules and how things are being scored, they can start manipulating how the score functions. But that takes us back to neural networks. That's exactly what neural networks does. Neural networks starts with a scoring mechanism, and then it abuses that scoring mechanism to always be right. The reason why it's so new is because we didn't have the computing power to actually actively update neural networks until very recently. So within the past 15 years is when the technology actually became available to even create neural networks, because the sheer amount of data required to make an effective and efficient neural network is insane. If a comma-separated file, if one line is bytes of information, every character is encoded into hexadecimal. Let's say every character is 4 bytes. One line is probably like a kilobyte. If it's like detailed information. So that's like 250 characters per line. At 4 bytes per line is a kilobyte, right? Around, roughly. Kilobyte's a little over 1,000 though, so, but it's something like that. So that's talking in terms of kilobytes for a comma-separated file. Just characters. To effectively create a neural network, you need gigabytes of that type of data, with hundreds of thousands of individuals with information reported. You can do it with less, but I guess you'd call it the type 2 error. The odds of a false positive or a false negative, which is the type 1 error. I always get those two confused. But I guess I should. Man, how far back do you go with this? I'm starting on neural networks and I'm working my way backwards to how they work, and then I forgot about error. So when it comes to neural networks and how they function, the first thing you do is you take a data set and you separate up into groups. You have a test, a test? Training and testing. The training data set is how you create the model, and the testing data set is how you gauge the effectiveness of the model. So, now it walked up a cliff. Really? Can I walk up this cliff? No, I can't. You cheated. Jerk. The training data set, you put information in, it creates a model, and then you use that training data set in the model it created, and you apply it to the test data set. And you get results. The results are generally one of 4 things can happen. You predict something and it's correct. You predict something... So say it's a true-false. You predict something is going to be green, and you predict it is also going to be... Let's just go with green for now. You predict something's going to be green. If something has all these features, it's definitely going to be green. So when you run it through the model, anything that matches those categories that is in fact green is a true positive. Anything that you predict to be green that's not green is a false positive. Anything that you predict to not be green that isn't green is a true negative. And anything that you predict to not be green that is green is a false negative. So you have those 4 categories. And the 2 types of error you can have is if it's a false negative or a false positive. And they're, I forget which one's which offhand, but they're the type 1 and type 2 errors. And generally speaking, when you're making when you're doing machine learning, you're either minimizing... You're maximizing your true positives or minimizing your false positives, or one of those different... You're minimizing or maximizing those different categories. And as you add variables to the equation, you can increase the efficiency of your model. I believe that's the lift. It's a ratio of those 4 variables. And so the more efficient the model is, well, every time you add a variable to the model, it increases the efficiency. So if you only have 1 variable, it's not a very efficient model, so you add a second variable, and you can imagine if you have 2 pieces of information, you get a much better result. And if you add 3, it's an even better result sometimes. But the improvement isn't as much. So you have diminishing returns on your model for adding every variable. And so a big part of machine learning is, I don't know if this part's called trimming or not, I forget the terminology, but figuring out how few variables you can use to maximize the effectiveness of the model. And usually it's between like 5 and 15 variables is really good. Anything more than that, you run into a problem called overfitting, which is you need so much information to make a prediction that it's not functional. And every time you add a new piece of information, you have to make a whole new model because every piece of information is needed. And so anything new is just new. It's like if you have 12 months and you're trying to predict what those 12 months were and you have 12 points. You predict every point is its own point. It's meaningless because you can't predict anything outside those points. There's no degree of freedom. But yeah, when it comes to economics, the variable selection gets really tricky. My particular area of study was in education. I had to go check on turning in this quest soon. That'd be horrible if I get talking about stuff and then I completely forget that I have to turn in this quest before like 1 AM the next day. Then I'd have to do the quest quest again. Excuse me. So, economics is fun. My area of expertise was education, and when I did my thesis, I was doing research in... It's not a full thesis, it's just a graduation thesis. In particular, Detroit, Michigan city area, and relationships between college attendance and economic variables. And the two big takeaways I got from it were that housing and rental prices are the best indicator for how many students from an area go to college, but the ratio of the housing prices to the rental prices was not related. It was not highly correlated with income. And either individually was sort of related to income. Which is really funny if you think about it. Just housing prices are not as correlated to the income as you would expect. But it does make some sense. People that don't have kids or that don't value education despite their income aren't going to be paying a lot for a house in an area that has good schools. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So you're going to have groups of people that don't have any... They don't get anything about being in a good school district. Whether that's retired people or people that just don't value the education or don't feel it's necessary to be in a certain school district to get a good education. Like, they don't value the location or the education or some combination of the two. Or they have a higher value for... When it comes to Detroit, Michigan, you're talking about people that live kind of outside the city and the country that value that space more than they do trying to pick a school. And so their kids go to whatever school they happen to go to. And those school districts have just an average rate of college attendance. It's average. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just... It is what it is. And then you have districts inside Detroit where in a small geographic area there are schools that send a lot of kids to college and a school that sends very few kids to college. And it's hard to get data on the housing values between the two because they're so close together. Maybe separated by like a major highway, but the neighborhoods are basically touching. And the kids that are college bound are kind of shuffled to one school, and the kids that are not college bound are shuffled to the other school. And because they're in different school districts, it's really sad to me that they're shuffled that way. Because if it was just within the same school district, if they're like, this school is focused on college prep, and this school is focused on automotive, what's the word for it? Career skills, technical skills. Welding, automotive, HVAC, carpentry, plumbing, like that kind of stuff. It would make sense if the district had like a couple different schools that had a better access to programs that focused on those things, right? And that would make sense, but what we're actually seeing in Detroit is they have created just separate districts, and my problem with that is if you create separate districts, you end up having one district that has certain types of teachers and certain types of funding, and another district that just doesn't have the same opportunities. which really sucks. Like, the way that kids in their mid-teens are allowed to explore their interests is a huge part of how they develop professionally and what opportunities they go after. And if you teach kids that because you are here, because you didn't do as well in middle school, or because you don't have a certain GPA, that relegates you to certain possible interests, that relegates you to being in certain schools where only certain opportunities are available, or certain school districts, that's sad. Like, I did not do well in high school. I think my GPA in high school on a 4-point scale was a 1.9. That's like a C minus. I was borderline to graduate high school. And my undergraduate GPA was 3.6 and my graduate GPA was 3.3, which is an A minus and a B average. So like, let's see, Charm cast imagine the dollars these days. Wow, that's now 21, so 27 hours to go. I'm pretty sure I killed more than 21. 27 hours? I have to do literally 2 days. Okay, game. Okay. I see how it is. So we're gonna do something else. We are not gonna kill monsters for that amount of time in Burimu Peninsula. What in the world can we do while we're waiting for this timer? I don't know. I can complain about economics more. But yeah, so my example with this is Bill Gates, when he started programming, was in high school. And it was a mother's group at his high school that got together in the must have been the 1960s. Late 60s. They got together enough money to get a programmable machine that used assembler for his school, for their whatever club it was. And so he was exposed to, it was like a $3,000 or $4,000 machine in the 1960s, early 70s. Is that the right time frame? Must have been late 60s. And that opportunity led to him having, he learned the skills for programming that normally you'd have to be at like MIT to get the opportunity for. Oh, I'm not losing any frames, am I? No, we're good. Okay. And it's just, he had the good fortune of having excellent opportunities that helped propel him into being the richest man in the world. There were some questionable business practices along the way, but you know, that's fine. But no, he had some opportunities. I guess I can finish this leveling quest. Go to Juno, Upper Juno, exit. I've never been to the exit. I need to get, for the, what is it called? For the level cap increase, I need to get items from enemies inside of Eldium Necropolis, the Garlage Citadel. I have to try really, really, really hard not to say the nickname for that place. Because it used to have the best nickname in all of gaming. A lot of people went there at level... Is it 25 or 30? I don't remember. But a lot of people went to Garledge Citadel when they were still relatively new. And it was a very frustrating place to level. It must have been 30, because level 25 was Utonga Jungle. Maybe 35. 30, 35. Something like that. So... yeah, I guess we're all adults here. It used to be called the Garbage Shitadel. But it was a lovely nickname. I love it. Oh, sweet, more weather. The yellow light. I can feel its power run through me. I think I have Earth, regular weather, and thunder for that now. But we'll see. I'm not actually really paying attention to the Carbuncle quest. One of these days it'll just be like completed on accident. Let's see. That trusts. Yeah, we don't need that. I'll just walk. The other thing I can do is I can go up to the book up there and the maw and go back into the past and get my white feather. But I don't really want to do the past stuff yet. But there's a couple of good experience. I don't know. Let's go in here. That's not an entrance. That's just an evil spirit. Alright. Where's the other burrows? I think they're south. Yeah, I should probably get on a mount. But, yeah. What is this? Ah, burrows. I've never actually done anything with burrows. Maybe I'll look into it someday. Is this an entrance? I don't know, I can't tell, it's too dark. No, it is not. I really need to turn up my gamma. I didn't think it was that low. I know I can get into this one down here. Excuse me. Need some water. But, yeah. If people don't have opportunities, then it's not efficient. If that makes any sense. But yeah, that's my biggest frustration with education, is that we make decisions about people well before we should. I spent most of my I paid for most of my college that I paid for doing tutoring at the community college in town. And we had all sorts of students come through of all ages because it was It was a community college with a nursing program, so a lot of people came in to go through the nursing program of all ages. People fresh out of high school all the way up to people in their 40s that were retraining for a career to help with their families. Make it refresh. And something that I learned really quick is that pretty much everybody's capable of doing pretty much anything. Like, especially when it comes to math. There's no real... Yeah, let's go ahead and do sneak just so I don't have to fight everything on the way. There's no such thing as somebody that can't do algebra. Because we do it in our heads every day, we do it with all sorts of things, and we don't really think about it, and we've never really formalized it. So the biggest issue with algebra isn't the concepts, it's the words used to talk about the concepts. Algebra is not really that difficult. And everybody is capable of doing it, for the most part. The issue is how it's... Well, the issue is that you need to have that moment where you understand... Most people understand algebra in certain contexts, in specific contexts where they understand the what they're doing with it, but not everybody. What in the world is Ka? He's just a thing. Okay. But the part people have difficulty with when it comes to algebra, at least, is making it abstract. What in the world is wrong with my camera? Am I stuck in the wall? Anyways. So, like I said, most people understand algebra in specific circumstances. So when it comes to how long is it going to take to get somewhere, depending on how the speed limits are in different areas, like, they figure it out in their head. They understand that intrinsically. But when you take away the car and moving and going somewhere and the speeds and stuff like that, and you just have two ratios, that's when people start getting lost, because they're not used to the generalization. Generalizing it becomes a huge problem for them. Can I get away from him so he can't cast Quake? I think so. I may die. Oh god. Boy, that was close. Note to self, never let the Lich finish casting Quake. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a piece of parchment. The liches can drop it, but they're certainly not guaranteed to drop it. So we'll just see if we can get it or not. What world did I just get? That makes me sad. I wish I hadn't finished that one just now. That's 5,000 experience that's just lost. That's so sad. So yeah. That's my econ rant for today. People's behavior depends on the information they have. When you think about it, it's not that surprising, but at the same time, the more that you understand, the more you have access to information, the better your decisions are, and the more you can manipulate the outcomes. That one's fine. But let's put sneak back on. Now, I'm actually just looking for... I can get just a bunch of, just a bunch of points on the ground. I don't actually have to get the, fight the enemies. And I'll be honest, it's starting to look like fighting the liches is going to be a real pain. Here's one. So, yeah. Let's see here. Okay. So yeah. How's everybody else's day doing? Anybody that's still here. I don't think these guys target sight. I may be wrong and I may be dead. We'll find out. I don't actually want to go out. So I have to be careful here. I don't want to find out if they target sight. Target site, or they would have hit me by now. Anyways. Okay. Let's go this way. The levels are getting lower, so I must be going somewhere. I never really explored this zone too much. That's a higher level. I'm getting closer though. So as soon as I can't go up that way. Wow. So that way's blocked off. I guess I have to exit and come back in. That sucks. Oh well. Let's see what... I can't go up that either. Okay. I wonder where this exits to. It's not too far away. Nah, it is kind of far away. Oh well. Bah. You know what's funny? This character has never zoned into Jungner Forest. Like, it's right there. Never zoned into it. I don't actually think he really needs to. Ever. Yeah, unless, well, no, I have to go to Devoy. Not yeah, Devoy. I'll have to go there eventually. But so far I haven't had to. Alright, this time if I just don't intentionally walk into a hole, I should be fine. just get the regen. And let's take a look at this. Alright. Let's see. Looks like... Okay. I think I understand what I'm doing now. So this zone apparently used to be the grave of many Elvanes from Sandoria, and I don't remember the exact story behind it, but it's a crypt, and then the dark energy around it caused the souls of the dead to rise up. I think it's the gist of the story. It's fairly standard, I guess. So I'm looking for rooms with this thing right here. So as long as I don't... I think they're all just rooms with liches in them that'll have that. So I'll keep walking around in the circle. And then as I find rooms with liches, I should find the thing, and when I get 3 of them, I will have my item turn, and then I can move on to the next zone. No, I already got that one. And then this is the room where I just kind of drop through the floor, I think. Dark Stalker. Ooh. Spooky ghost. There's a couple in this zones in this game that are just freaky. Legitimate terrifying. Here in the Guzgan Mines is absolutely creepy. There we go. Piece of ancient papyrus. And let's go ahead and warp out of here. The last one I need is in Rolandberry Fields in Crawler's Nest. So we will go... Juno, Crawler's Nest is off of lower. Yeah. This one's quite a hike too. Music in this zone's some of the better music. And I ruined it. I'll have to check that later. Not that one. Region. I don't see it there either. I've never seen Legion before that I can remember. Anything special? No. So, yeah, exciting gameplay. If I didn't have a specific audience of someone to talk to, I don't know if I could stream this game and have it be entertaining. If what I'm doing right now is even entertaining, but, you know. Because there's nothing... It's just enjoying the ride, enjoying the scenery. And I think it's a lot of games, it's like move, get to this point really close and then go there real quick. And then if you have to walk anywhere, people get impatient, they don't want to do it, and it's meh. But like, to me, ooh, that's an NM. Hold on, something needs to die. To me, it's the space in between and running into things that you didn't realize were there, and the fact that the world exists for you to travel through. That I really appreciate. And they've added quite a bit to lessen that. Like, you don't have to run anywhere anymore. You can teleport pretty close to most places. But I still like running through a lot of places. Oh, we're gonna pull everything, because he is going to nuke it. Alright, let's try it from here. Hopefully I'm out of range. Alright, not so bad. He's already 77%. I can deal with that. Like, especially when fighting these notorious monsters, they could be a lot of different levels. Like, this guy could have legitimately been level 80. For whatever reason. And if you don't have a guide, the best you would do is just give it a shot. If you die, you die. Alright, let's see what he got. Anything good? Survivor earring. Ooh. Does my vitality go up? It does. I wonder what the latent effect is from. Is there anything else over here? This isn't where I want to be. I want to be down there. Okay, let's go. But there is a lot of space in this game, and I appreciate it. I've thought about getting some of the updated texture packs that modders have put together, but updated textures can only go so far on these displacements. Because, like, no matter how fancy or nice the texture is, this displacement right here is still gonna be... I mean, that. And it's not bad per se. For the time this was made, this is really good. But like, trying to hide it with a higher definition of texture. Like, it looks weird. I don't know. Part of the charm is just, it's a product of its day. If they were to remake this today, they would have at least 3 times the... Not 3 times, three... The power would be increased 3-fold. So instead of having, say, 16 divisions, it would have 64 divisions in each square for the displacements. At least. And then the actual textures would have normal mappings to add additional levels of detail. Someone's leveling. I don't think the lizards are aggressive. We'll find out. Yeah, we can go... no, we have to go this way to get into the room. This room up here will always have a special place in every Final Fantasy XI player's heart. Because how do you explain a nickname like Baller's Nest? In what game can you tell people Party Camp is below the pulsating sacks? Like, there's something fantastic about this moment. Alright, let's see how screwed I am. Nope, no aggro. Like, I'm literally touching 2 giant pulsating sacks. And that's all the context I'm going to give anybody. Taking a screenshot. Why should you play Final Fantasy XI? That's why. This game has the biggest pair of pulsating sacks of any game. Classic. Beetles have sight. Ooh, treasure casket. Oh no, it's a... Okay, not what I was looking for. I don't think that's the right way. I think I need to go all the way back. And downstairs. Ugh. It is quiet in here. So, yeah. Such a lovely, quiet place. At least it was. Alright, this should take me downstairs, right? Upstairs? Downstairs? Or uphill or down? I don't know. I almost got up there, yeah. There we go. You supposed to be able to do that? I don't know. Ugh. I think today is only going to be about 2 hours and I'll finish this one mission. And I'll be good for tonight. Tomorrow night, I might try. See, maybe I'm okay. I think this is what I need. I might try another game tomorrow. I'm thinking Final Fantasy VIII. Just because I really like Triple Triad. And I have a save that's towards the beginning of the game. That may be fun to mess with. Just to see how far you can get with Triple Triad cards. Here we go, this must be it. I find a hole. That's not weird. Alright, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for mold. Maybe this is it. This has got to be it. There we go. Alright, so I'm going towards that one, top right, straight ahead. If I remember right, you have to kind of go a loop around these tunnels. Because you drop off a cliff into some areas, so yeah. There's only one way to go through here. I have 1 minute left on sneak. There we go. Yeah, this way. Let's see here. Not that one. Can't go up there, so let's go right. Yeah? Go around here. And then there's gotta be one. Oh, I can't. I have to go that way. Okay. Okay. I used to level in here, but it's been a while. But I want to get to that top left corner and then probably down straight south and across. Will be the rest. It's not where I was trying to go. Oops. And I have 7 hours, 21 minutes to get back to Windurst to turn in this mission. So, I'm pretty sure I killed enough stuff over in the Bubuni Peninsula. Alright, let's go right. There should be some Exors around here. And in the middle of their area, there's probably a... shit. Well... No! Wow. I thought I got it. That's funny. What in the world did the wasps... They must have sight. I didn't think wasps had sight. That makes me sad. Why can a wasp see me? Oh well. Alright, there's not enough time to go do anything else, so I have to go wait. Wow, I am so sorry I hit my mic. Alright. Go turn in this silly mission. This has got to be the worst mission ever invented. Like, spend 2 hours killing stuff and then come back. And also, if you don't turn it in within an hour of the 2 hours being up, you just fail. Like, who thought of that? That's ridiculous. Oh well. There's a reason to do this one though, if I'm not mistaken. It rewards you with the item to get past the 3-mage gate without having 3 mages. So that's another fun one. To get Fenrir to go to the Full Moon Fountain, there's a special gate that we ran by when we were doing the other mission. It requires 3 mages, a red mage, a black mage, and a white mage, to stand on little platforms to open the door, and then you can run through. So back in the day, you had to have your friends there. Oh well. Alright, how many hours left? Six hours. Do I have any... I used all my crystals. Hold on. That's what I can do. Go over to the cooking guild real quick. Pick up some fire crystals from my ephemeral Moogle and do some smithing. See, I didn't know about the 3 rusty daggers. I know that this mission gives you a key to get through, but I've never done the 3 rusty daggers before. Yeah. But I'll have the key item soon, so... crystals return to me. Fire... a specific number, let's do 24. Yeah. On my main character, when I started playing this again, I had to go to the Full Moon Fountain for something. And I was trying to figure out the best way to get through, and I didn't know about the key thing, and I knew about the key item. I was like, how do I get the key item? It's like, oh, you have to do all your Winders quests up to rank 3. And I was like, oh, that's going to take forever. And so I started doing my Winters quests. And then as I was in my Winters quests, I went and started doing teleports. And in my list of teleports was the teleport for the Full Moon Fountain. Or for, not the Full Moon Fountain, the Grotto, Sea Serpent Grotto? No, that's the island. Torama Canal, or something like that. And just finding that teleport was already in my teleport list, and I didn't know what region it was supposed to be under. It was so depressing. I was like, I just went through all that effort. So. Alright, I have 3 hours before I can turn this in, so let's do Alt 1. Oh, I need to get the crystals and stuff out. Get the smithing kits out. Use a fire cluster. And put a ton of this stuff in the sack. Beast coin, silk thread, cotton. That's fine. I wonder if it's still technically... Ha! I haven't done anything since the last time I did synths, and it still remembers. Ugh. Level 1 smithing. But no. This is a really relaxing pastime. It's almost as good as fishing. There we go. That should get me to 20. Each rotation takes a little over a minute. It's 3 minutes per hour-ish. 2 hours, 6 minutes. I can finish these crafting things. I wonder why my log is echoing so much. It must be lag. Because it shouldn't be repeating it 3 times. But, yeah. It is funny watching the viewer count, because it'll bounce between just me and you weird, and then it'll be like 5, then it'll be like 4, and then it'll be like 2 for a while, and then... Like, if you're watching Final Fantasy XI, you've got to know what you're getting yourself into. There's just absolutely nothing exciting going on. Even the exciting stuff isn't exciting. Yep. Waiting for 23. Got 1 minute. Reminds me of Traveler's Cloak farming. Waiting for the spook to spawn. Competing with a bunch of bots. I think people had like a macro set up so that it was specifically to provoke a spook. And they just spam that. And then as soon as it existed, it would provoke. But I haven't been to the King Rompere's tomb this run yet. That's another thing I have to do. Jugner Forest. I haven't been to a lot of Sandoria areas. Alright, that should about do it. Gee, I see it after... I see it be after 23. Fuss or fused. There's just 1 hour to bust. Fussed, there's just 1 hour to bust. Get along there, not much time till the gong. Here? I just want to be done. I don't want to do this anymore. Bueno. I'm done, aren't I? Let me... Are you telling me that after all that slaughter, that it's not enough? Okay. Yeah. It is funny how you can love something and be so annoyed by it at the same time. Honestly, I don't think Sandoria has these types of quests where you have to, like, literally do something for 2 in-game days. It's just Juno and Windurst. The Chocobo quest waiting, you used to have to wait until after Japanese midnight every day. And there's a couple of quests where you had to wait until after the Conquest tally on Sunday. Especially when it came to your relic upgrades and stuff. You had to give up your weapon for a week or something. Oh, there we go. Reckoning your recorded results. My meticulous math maintains you massacred 132 monsters in a matter of days. Ah, you actually are an amazingly able adventurer. Aha, rather well run there. We'll refer to your results record. Sure I am. When we replan our next skills exam, we'll give you word when we hold the test, which you're always welcome to watch. Okay. That was fun. So, what they intended is that you'd go out with a party of 3 or 4 people, and you would work really hard, and you would fight the tough enemies in Buburimu Peninsula that were, you know, even match or so. And you'd spend 2 in-game days after traveling there for like 1 full day and do your best, and you'd get like 40 or 50, and they'd be like, wow, that's great. No, we went there and we slaughtered things for 5 minutes, then went and tried to do other things. Being able to teleport there is just so nice. Let's see. Let's go talk to the gate guard and see what to do next. Where am I going? Current region. Let's go to... I like woods. Go to the woods gate guard. How are we doing on money? I'm probably really poor right now. I'm so poor. How am I doing on sparks? I can get a few. Not it. There he is. Let's do some... Archon shields. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5. And then talk to the gate guard. Let's see what's next. Missions currently available. To each his own right. Ah, Dulot, Heaven's Tower is hailing you. Why, the head Star Sibyl Guard herself, Semi Lafina, came asking for you. Seems your activities in all 3 nations have become your ticket to move up in the world, eh? Anyway, you should hurry over to Heaven's Tower. She's as strict on herself as she is others. Alright, I'm gonna run there because I want to try and find a NPC shop on the way. I don't know. I also need to do Halver. Where is his thing? It's in my case, I think. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get rid of this while we're at it. Come on, Halver. You're a jerk, but I guess I'll invite you along every now and then. Come on, hurry up. Okay. So now we're gonna go figure out what's going on with... what's their name? Semi Lafina. See what she needs. The last quest, we went down to the 3 nations, the last main quest. Took care of some problems for the locals, for their beast tribes, and discovered that the Shadow Lord is apparently being revived, so, you know, we should probably go check up on that. In between then, we did meet up with Lion outside of Lower Delphux Tower in Qufim, and discovered Sanctuary of Zita Esha, which is a world consumed by darkness without color. And more questions than answers, with a mysterious figure sending monsters after us. But we don't know more about it yet. We got sucked into a portal, we saw Esha, and we retreated with Lion and Zeed and Iroha. But after that, I haven't actually gone looking for Lion yet, so that mission is on hold. Let's see. We are at the Eddies of Despair, or the Land After Time, excuse me. So, in order to continue that quest, I have to go to one of the crags of Halamia or Dem. But we're going to hold off on that until I get a few more levels. I want to be at least level 75 before I finish that, I think. Let's see. Let's check with Kupipi. You say you've been called by Lady Samilafina, the Sibyl Guard? You mean to tell me you're really been called by Lady Samilafina? You? I guess I'll trust you this time. Use the stairway bauble to gain access to the upper floor. To the top floor, but don't forget to give that back. When visiting the upper floors of the tower, you must be on your best behavior, especially around the head lady in waiting, Zubaba. Alright, let's use this bauble. My voice must sound so gravelly right now. It's not quite sore, but I've had like a head cold this week. So it's a mixture of nasally because my nose is a little congested, and the running down the back of the throat is causing it to... Kinono. Alright. I guess they're just going all the way up. Ah, Zubaba. Speaking of which, let's go say hi to Zubaba. I don't know who Zubabi is. What's this? Are you under the delusion that I, Zubaba, head lady in waiting, would let a slimy adventurer like you journey into our holy planetarium? And talk to the Star Sibyl? Ha! I've never heard of anything so absurd. The personage with whom you seek audience is the Dawn Goddess reincarnate. You impertinent scallywally net wag. Okay, be like that. It's funny, when you're in these towers, people are so rude. The castle's the same way. Bestok's not so bad. I wonder if I'm supposed to go in here. No. No, I'm not. If you're looking for Lady Samilafina, you'll have to wait. She is currently with the Star Sibyl in her chamber. Oh. Ah, I see you have already arrived. Did I keep you waiting? Our fine cleric, Kupipi, didn't doubt that I had called you here, did she? This is the planetarium. By using the sacred star spring, one can see all of the stars in the heavens. When the star Sybil appears into this spring, she can decipher the movement of the stars and reveal to us our future. We Sybil guards exist to protect that future. I showed the report you delivered to the Star Sybil. Do not worry. She has already sensed the imminent revival of the Shadow Lord. However, for the sake of national security, we ask that you keep this information to yourself. There is no reason to inform the public at this time. The wounds that the Tataru received 20 years ago still have not healed, and releasing this information now would only cause unwanted confusion. As for you, you can go back to your adventuring. The Sybil guards will take the investigation from here. Halt! Do not proceed any further. Lady Samanafina has prohibited you from entering this area. What is the meaning of this? You are no longer allowed to have audiences with the Star Sybil. Leave at once, traitor. The leader of the most powerful warlords in Windhurst. A traitor? Give me a break. Do you actually think that a mere group of kitty cats can save Windhurst? Well, I'm sure we can fare better than some power-hungry minister with his head in a hole. How dare you? Look around. Does the Windhurst you see around you look peaceful and happy-wappy? What is this? Wait, Ajido Marujido. The pages, they're all blank. Is this some kind of joke? Joke? Show those blank pages to the Star Sybil and see if she is laughing. The Book of the Gods has gone blank. The broken Cardian soldiers are up to no good, and all of Windhurst has an ancient, worn-out, good-for-nothing army. And you just sit here with your tails between your legs. Well, I'm tired of waiting. I, Ajido Marujido, will save Windhurst from these terrible times. Do not. I have a mission for you. Follow that Taru, and find out what he is up to. Report to me when you do. I cannot forgive any who endanger the peace of Windhurst. Well, that was exciting. Stream is to return to the first floor via this portal. If he's already left Heaven's Tower, you can probably find him at the Orrery. Can I use this portal? Yeah. Let's not forget to talk to Kupipi again to return her little bauble. Maybe you've heard of her, the famed cat burglar Nanamigo. Not that it'll help. Maybe if you were her lackey-wacky, things might be different. If you still want to try, she's probably over in Windhurst Woods. Have I seen the Orrery Minister? He just stormed out of here a few minutes ago. Don't ask me where he went. For all I know, he returned to the Orrery. You know, for no one knows where he went, everybody seems to know where he went. Alright. Oh, what time is it? Almost 10:30 p.m. Yawn. This may be a good stopping point for tonight. I will call it here. And we'll probably work on trying to find a way to... I don't know how to do video editing very well, so when I figure it out, I will start clipping together just the actual story parts and clip them together and try and put that together on YouTube. Just to figure out how to do some of that editing myself. Sort of as like a skills thing. But yeah, I imagine you could make a decent little story video if you just didn't have any of the running around. So I'll work on that. Tomorrow I think I'll play a little bit of Final Fantasy VIII and just screw around for an hour or so. Maybe a different game, but I don't have too many games installed on my PC right now, so Final Fantasy VIII seems like fun. And then we'll come back to it on Thursday for the quest, so Weird, thank you for hanging out and lurking. Whatever you're doing in the background, I appreciate it. To Amanda, of course, I love you and hope you're having a good day. I hope when you're listening to this, you're working hard in your lab or writing a paper or something like that. And it helps you focus and get through your day. So, alright, to everybody else, have a good night. To Amanda, love you. Hope you're doing well.